Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SMTV podcast for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is Season 5, Episode 3, A Life Spent. I am your host, Jacob, and with me I have Rachel. And Cleo.
Hello.
Hey, everyone. Oh, okay, so the show is really good.
I'm really liking this season. I really am so far.
They said the thing in this episode that made me comfortable with the fact that this future didn't make sense to me. Alternate universe. He just, I think Deke just offhand mentioned it, and I was like, okay, that's all you needed to do to put my mind at ease. I can just forget about how this actually fits and just watch.
It can be one of those things where it's not necessarily this could happen.
Yeah.
Kind of
It is happening, but it could be a
reverse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It just put me at ease. I'm like, thank God somebody said it.
Deke's starting to be an asshole, so let's just put that out there.
Or is he?
I don't know. It's kind of a jerk.
Because he did, when he set her up to be captured,
yeah.
When he set Daisy up to be captured, he said, I'm playing the long con.
Basically, but still.
Yeah, I think that was like a hint to her that he might still be on her side trying to get...
I don't think he's on anyone's side but his own.
But I think he cares. Like, he's the asshole with the heart of gold. Probably. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess.
Oh, no, we'll find out. Then again, for all we know, he could be related to Daisy in some way, and he's just trying to... Or related to someone.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost. Oh.
Yay.
I don't know. I'm just putting this out there because, I mean, he knew about the framework. How many other people knew about that?
Yeah,
I mean,
not many.
And so, you know, it could have been one of their descendants and they're talking about it and they're like, well, this is what we have. And he's like, okay. And he uses it.
Yeah, we still don't even know what the incident was that caused...
Wow, my face is really close up. Hope you guys like it.
Yeah. Hello.
My face is everywhere. Look, it's in this box. And I'm in this box. And I'm in this box. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother to change it because it'll probably fix itself. Yeah, I don't know how he knows all this stuff. And I feel like he's got some secret trove of, like, knowledge somewhere.
Yeah, he has his own... little stashes somewhere, and I think him and Virgil were doing it together.
You know, maybe.
He remembered his name this time.
I know, right? They said his name again, and I'm totally gonna remember it.
But I think him and Virgil there was something going on because he looked really disappointed when he was like, "Virgil's dead," kind of thing. He was like, "Oh." And then he owed me money.
Yeah, tried to make it an excuse.
Yeah. It didn't seem like that. The only other person that's really kind of getting on my nerves is Tess. I don't know.
She's just trying to keep
she's trying
alive.
She's trying to save her own skin. She's trying to keep her, but she's just like, she's not giving them credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's not knowing the stuff that they've already done and proved that they are very cunning and they know what they're doing. She still doesn't give them any credit. You know what I mean?
I think she's looking at them like Mac is looking at her, because Mac is like, we don't just kill people because. Like, that's not how it works. And she's like, you don't just let this guy live and get away with it. That's not how it works.
It worked, though.
It did work. They pulled it out.
Because they are smart. I mean, even Mac going into the cage, you know, where the boss, quote unquote boss, was, and he can't go any further because his arm got stuck. Recon. This is what they do. They find out information. I mean, even with Yo-Yo doing her things, and it's like you have to put your trust in them. They know what they're doing, even when it looks like they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
And even if they actually don't know what they're doing, it sometimes ends up working out. It works out.
Happy little accidents.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it comes out in the end. Mm-hmm. It works out. So, and I understand also everyone's like, well, you gotta, you gotta build your way up. It's like, they don't have time to do this. They don't want to stay there. They want to go home, and I totally understand that. I mean, like what May said. May's like, I want to sleep in my own bed for at least one night,
And I mean, it's not even just that they don't have time to stay and help. That's not the problem. It's that they're separated, and they're better as a team, and Gemma's in trouble. Gemma is in trouble. She can take care of herself, and she's, holding her own, but it's not a situation they want to leave her in.
No, it was not a situation that she wants in. And I kind of called it last week. She's trying to figure out, she's watching everyone. She's watching very intently. And I think and if you notice, she was watching their lips. So it's like she's trying to. Yeah. She's trying to read lips. And she's a smart enough girl that she could probably do it. Mm-hmm. No doubts about that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that happened in this episode.
Yeah. And
so without it being like all over the place and like, real distracting.
Mm-hmm. I like how like most of them sort of meet up. So like May comes along with Tess, and May's just like, you guys, you got yourself captured already? Like, is that a record?
Yeah.
And just them, and what is the guy's name that's got them indentured servitude?
Oh, I can't remember his name. I just looked it up too because I was looking up his the lieutenant guy that got was on. He was very rock-like. He reminded me of like of Rock. It was really weird. I was just like, okay, this is.
I don't know if that was like piercings or tattoos or something, face augmentation or something. I didn't really pay that much attention.
Yeah, but anyways, I mean, it's like each little group of people had their own storyline, but it was all going to one point. You know what I mean? It was all going to one focal point. It was leading to that. And it did it really nicely, and also wrapped up little things. Each little story had their little wrap-ups.
Yeah.
Which was nice. So I'm very interested in how this is going to play out. I really am. And it's the first time in a long time I've been really excited for this show.
Yeah. And I really liked how they showed, like, slow motion almost Yo-Yo's her speed.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how she duped him.
Yep.
She just zipped around, got him to take the thing off, and then went through the metal, the magnet.
Yep. And when she did that, we knew she was going for the tablet thing. Mm-hmm. I did not even think about the gun.
Yeah. Me neither. Until she planted it on the guy, and then I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
The long con. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she planned that all along, or if it was just like, this gun could come in handy. Welcome back.
Probably both. A little bit of both. Like, it could come in handy, like, if something happened, like it did, and she could plant it on someone easily without them even knowing. Mm-hmm. So. I no longer can have two boxes. I don't like this.
You're crammed into your own box now, Rachel.
I'm stuck in my own box.
We were just talking about Yo-Yo and how cool she is.
Oh, yeah, the fucking most awesomest character on this series.
Mm-hmm. I love the fact that after she got done, he put it back on her. He looked at her like, you're a little more sweaty than you were before.
Yeah, it's like...
But he's like...
She's just like, what?
Yeah.
I'm a lady.
I love the fact that, he's eating the soup and he goes, oh, stupid newbies kind of thing. And he's like, oh, she's right there. What's going on? I don't.
Yeah, he like kept getting up and going back down. And it's like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, right.
I do want to talk about this little thing that Coulson found. What's his name? That dude that died.
Elijah.
Virgil.
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 Yeah,
There we go.
Elijah. What the?
Elijah.
I was watching Dirk Gently, guys. I'm thinking about Elijah Wood. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, but Virgil and his little notes that he's been taking. We see this little recurring little number that's 616.
It's the Marvel Universe number,
Yeah, and
which lends a hand to the multiverse theory. That
and
it's-
we directly reference the multiverse theory in this episode later.
coincidence.
Huh.
No.
I don't.
Nah.
So yeah, we're definitely doing this. I don't know if I like it.
It explain things. It would help explain things, especially with time travel and stuff, and make it a little more easy. But at the same time, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a lazy way out or anything. It's just it's a different take on something.
It is, and this is a good way to you can tell more interesting stories with that, but when you start to do that, you go down a rabbit hole, and it's very hard to dig yourself out of it.
Oh, you can, yeah, definitely.
So, like, if you're going to do this, then you need to address certain things that these characters are not from this universe.
Yeah.
If this is in fact a different universe, or it's just the future, we don't know. And then there's that whole thing of like, what if you run into your other self and like whatever else, and are they ever going to get back to their home universe? And if they do, is that even the universe that we've been following in the main MCU? It raises so many questions, and I just hope we get answers to them.
I mean, also when they brought it up just secretly every once in a while, and Dirk Deke called Quake the world killer, and then Mr. Blue Man called her that too. And Mr. Blue Man, and he's like, "How is she here?" Because he knows. Okay, in their timeline, she's dead.
Yeah.
Because it's been so long. Either that or
And
she's
her-
in some kind of home. And, so it's like, he's like, "How is she here?" And Dick's like, "It doesn't matter how she's here. She's yours for a price."
Yeah.
So she has a reputation. So obviously there was something.
Yeah.
Because
And-
you can't. Yeah.
It was infuriating me because every time Deke mentioned you destroyed the planet. The Earth got quaked apart, you destroyed the planet. I'm like, okay, give me proof. And then he just says it again, and I'm like, that's not proof, you're just saying it over and over again. So I'm wondering what, like, the proof is. Because clearly, I thought he was the only one who kind of thought that she destroyed the world, but since Blue Man said it, obviously it's something that's
It's a thing.
not
It might
well
be
known, but maybe more known than just that. So there's got to be something.
I'm thinking that there's two possibilities, main possibilities. There's a billion other little offshoots, but it was a story handed down because they didn't have written. They destroyed all the history. We don't know when they destroyed the history. So even the blue guy, he might be not relying on. He may be relying on the word of mouth history. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So he has the same knowledge as the other people of their history. He doesn't know the real history because it was destroyed, but it never got passed down because they wanted everyone just to forget.
Exactly. And he is a Kree. He probably doesn't give a shit about Earth history.
No. Or B, there is still history left. There is still something saying this is how it happened.
Yeah.
And they know, and the Kree know, and it's been passed down like this is what Earth's history. This, if you're going to live here, this is the history of what happened. Don't let anyone else tell you anything different.
Or is it another universe's history?
Exactly. don't know right now.
Yeah.
Or is it,
Yeah.
or is this just a possible future, not a for sure future?
Mhm.
That's what you start happening when you start time traveling. You get into this real sticky kind of web, and I hope they navigate it really good. Otherwise, it can get. I mean, even with the multi-universe, it could get really gummed up
Yeah.
and confusing, and things won't match.
Yeah,
And
there are
then,
characters hooking up with other characters. And you're
yeah,
like, what the
and
fuck?
then and then in the future, if they want to do it, it could really screw it up because you're kind of locking yourself into this one thing, and then you're like, oh crap, where do I go from here? Don't back yourself into a corner.
Or are they? Because if they're doing time travel creates an alternate universe, then you're not really backing yourself into a corner. I guess the only
No, but I'm
problem
not
is
saying they
getting back to
could.
them. Yeah, yeah. But
I'm saying they could. I mean, they could if they don't do this right. If the writers don't do this right, they could in fact back themselves into a corner.
I mean, when you do things like that, see, time travel is one of the hardest storylines you could do. And I think it's safer to do multiverse than it is to do time travel. It's easier to say, well, this is an alternate future, not a future that you caused.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that this is a case of both. They've gone to the future, and this is a different dimension.
Yeah, but like not necessarily. They didn't necessarily time travel. I guess like in their own universe, they just went.
Well, we don't know what
a
that
different
obelisk,
different-
that thing.
Right, because it's
Yeah.
such a different obelisk than the last one we saw,
Yeah.
so we don't
Yeah.
really know.
We don't know.
Yeah, but like this could also be interesting to see like if there are
And
different
so far,
versions of
yeah.
characters.
So far, they are making it really interesting. I would like to. I mean, we're not going to see these specific characters in this timeline because it's 90 plus years, and if the
Yeah.
Earth exploded, they're dead. But
Maybe we can
They
go back.
but they might have family members. They might have a lineage. They might have people that are related to them that's either on the ship or somewhere else in the universe. And that would be interesting to find. That would be interesting to look. Like say if Daisy had a family, would her kids get passed down inhuman traits even without Genesis, or do they all went through Genesis? There's just things. There's things that they could do. There's multiple things they could do, but they just have to do it very carefully.
Mhm. And it'd be interesting to see how this affects the greater MCU in this, alternate timeline. If we can go back and see the history of this universe, what was it like? Were there other superheroes? Were there even Avengers? Were there fucking alien threats coming like every 6 months?
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm wondering is how did this happen in a world that has the Avengers, that has the Guardians?
Because maybe there weren't any.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd like to know. I mean, also before they got sent through, whoever sent them through, could they control where they landed? Where
Or they just
Was
didn't give
this intentional?
was it intentional? Did they put them there for a reason to help make this future not happen? Or
Are these
did they just
people
were like,
from-
okay, we're going to put him through and fingers crossed,
Well,
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. If these people were from this universe and didn't necessarily like it, so they wanted to change it.
Mhm.
But then again, but then there's whole multiverse thing. Can't you just go to a different dimension that doesn't suck? And maybe
Yeah,
that's why they're here.
Yeah.
Oh, hot mic.
Is that mine? I can't tell.
I have no idea. It just keeps buzzing in and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm enjoying it as it is. I'm not looking too deep into it because I think if I did that, I would drive myself insane.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think just the mention of multiverse, not even as a confirmation, just as a concept, makes me a little less like, how is this possible?
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, I love the dynamic between them and how they're really working together and stuff. And
Mhm.
I was like, actually went into this after. I was like, wait a minute. Is Coulson's thing on his good hand or his bad hand? It's on his good hand. It's on his real hand. I was gonna say if it's on his
Oh, yeah.
fake hand, he could just take it off.
Eh.
But no, it's not.
They probably haven't. You need to have you need to have a briefcase, Coulson, of just hands,
I know, right?
just different attachments, like grenade launcher attachments. That'd be great.
I'm literally imagining Hook, Captain Hook from Hook,
Yes.
Yep.
with the briefcase of all
He has
this.
all the. But okay, if this is their future, and if this Coulson was the same Coulson or even remotely close, he would have a bionic arm too. So maybe they will find like the old bionic
He
arm.
would be 100 and
No, but I'm just saying
something.
maybe they will find like, they're scavengers.
so maybe they'll find a
They'll
bionic
find
hand.
it. Maybe they'll find it, and
They'll
they'll
just find his hand.
We'll just find a hand. And they thought maybe it was, they didn't think anything of it. Maybe they will. I don't know. I think that'd be really cool.
They just
Yeah.
find his arm. It's just the entire arm.
I just think that'd be really cool. And then, Mac and them have to wire it back together to make it work. I think that'd be really kind of cool.
No,
It'd be
the
fun- I think
arm
it'd be
just
funny.
move. No, I think it'd be funny if the arm just moves on its own accord and it just
It's like
becomes
it-
a character.
It's like thing.
Thing. Yeah, thing.
Yeah,
It's
thing
like
from
thing.
Adam Sandler.
No, I just want to see Coulson find the arm, and the arm just it's his arm in this other universe, and then he just takes it and starts whacking people with it. It's like a tight situation. He's cornered, and then he just grabs the arm, and just starts beating the shit out of people with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that'd be an interesting way to go. Whether or not they do it, we will get to see. If it does happen, oh my God, did I call that right?
Either that, or they use it as a paddle when they're on a raft.
Yeah.
floating.
I think it would be kind of.
I don't
cool.
think there's
I mean,
any water anywhere.
I mean, I think it
like
would
our
be
paddle
cool.
broke. What do we use?
I think it would be cool if they did something like that, because then it'd be like, okay, kind of tie the past with the future, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
I mean, even with Earth being all split, how many times did she say that you can't live on that? You can't live. It's not livable. You can't live. How many times did she say that?
A lot.
It's like, okay, we get it. We get it.
And I mean, what we see of the surface when Rockface gets transported there.
Yeah. You can breathe on it.
You can breathe on it. It looks like difficult terrain. It looks like a terrible atmosphere. But the main threat is
The roaches.
The roaches, yeah. That's
So
what
you
killed
can't-
him, not the planet.
Yeah, you can live on it apparently, because there's still an atmosphere enough to sustain you to breathe. Because otherwise he would just have died.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just more or less inhospitable. It's not necessarily you can't. It's like you just don't really want to.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, looks like there's really prevailing winds and stuff like that. Very apocalyptic kind of thing going on. Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
But yeah. So when that happened, when she kept saying that you can't live, you can't. Then they showed him and he's walking and breathing. I'm like, actually, technically, physically, you can.
Mm-hmm.
You might not want to.
It really looks like Gemma's planet when she
It does.
was
Without
across
the filter,
universe.
without the filter, the blue filter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It looked like when the storm came.
Mhm.
That's what,
So I mean, and that also led to them going, them saying that this is actually coming from the surface of the earth, and she comes, oh, you can't. No, you can. We see it.
And yeah,
Just
but
because-
she doesn't know
they've been
anything
told.
else. That's just the
Exactly.
story.
She's been told.
Yeah.
It's like you can't say for sure that you can't unless you've been down there, and you know what I mean, kind of thing. So, I understand if that's all she ever knew, that's all she ever knew about this is that you can't live down there. You can't live down there, but you might be able to survive for quite a while if you're really, really good.
That's the right thing.
Surviving, and living are two different things, really. So we know
Somebody's
you
down there.
can. Someone's down there, and I mean, hello, look what happened. I mean, and when it was Gemma's planet with Mr. Astronaut, how long did he live there
Long time.
before he got killed? You know,
Mhm.
if he lived underground, and that was the best place to be living, actually.
Yeah.
So you don't know who these. I mean, they could have built themselves a shelter enough that keeps the roaches out,
They could be
or
New Shield.
be New Shield
That too. Or sword.
or sword.
Mhm.
Or
I
spear.
mean, they didn't make
Or
her.
spear.
They didn't spear. A shank. But yeah, I mean,
A spoon.
I mean now, I mean, I think that's why they showed us him on the surface of what's left of Earth, is because it's inhospitable, but you can survive on it.
Mhm.
You can, but you wouldn't want to.
No.
Now, can we talk about Yo-Yo some more?
Yes, let's.
The Yo-Yo is awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so we got to do the little interrogation, the confrontation. Then, so Yo-Yo's being a badass, saying that dude has a gun. And I was like, oh, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, but she's like, I already know what what happened to me if I'm wrong. So
Yeah,
it doesn't really
the whole
matter to
thing's
me.
going down, and I just see her hair move, and I'm like, oh, she did a thing.
Yeah, they did a close up of his face, and he kind of, you saw this like.
Yeah.
With her. It's like,
The
oh,
whooshy whoosh.
so what happened? And then I was like, oh, you not only took the tablet, you took the gun too. You smart girl.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and then we got Tess, who's a cool character too. You know, being on their side.
She is on their side to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Well, she is. She's invested in what Virgil was doing.
Well, I think she had a little crush on him too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah. She made it seem like he was her like only real friend. You know, like she had associates, but it seemed like Virgil was her only friend.
Yeah. I just don't like that they had her repeating the same thing over and over again pretty much this whole entire episode. I'm like, okay, we get it. I got like the first 3 times you said it. I don't need to hear it the other 15 times.
Yeah. I think it's really just to show that that's all they know is what they're told.
Yeah. I mean they have leaks, you know what I mean? Kind of like just passed down, like people wouldn't say they know anything, but they tell it word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they don't know. They just, but there has to be somewhere, because obviously Deke knows shit.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what his thing is, because
His
he's
deal,
obviously his deal, because he's obviously fairly friendly with the Kree, and friendly enough to not get his head blown off in return.
Yeah, I think they know he delivers, like he gives them things they need. And I mean, he also runs the opium den, which they want to exist so that people are docile.
Yeah, but there's something going on with him. I think, as minor as the character as he seems, I think he's more major than we know.
Yeah.
Definitely. With your Star-Lord mask.
Ooh, yeah, right. I think there's something up, and we're not and if you notice, we got little tidbits of everyone else's background a little bit. I mean, we got Tess talking to Coulson about the past and how the Kree, all this kind of stuff, and she was born there and everything, and all this kind of stuff. But we haven't gotten anything really on Deke. So he's kind of like this mystery.
Well,
Yeah.
he mentions at the end of the episode when like Daisy is starting to kill him, that he's playing a long game. Now, what the fuck does that mean?
He's in for the long haul.
Somebody's got a plan.
He has this plan, and I understand. He's been there for years, so he can go with this long game, and he has an end game, and he knows where it's going. He can play it, but they just got there, and they want to get this done with and over and gone. They want to go back home, and I totally understand. So it's like they don't have time. They're like, we don't have time to dick around with this shit.
Yeah. But on this other side, he knows what's going to keep him and them alive. And I think that's his little wink to Daisy to say, I am playing the long con to probably save your life. So try and roll with it.
It's really when you got these kinds of two different perspectives, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's you just want to yell at the boat. We just listen to each other.
Yeah.
Just listen. Stop and listen to each other.
Because it's
You both have valid points, but you need to stop, listen, and come together to figure out what the best. Because really, he was right. Rushing into things is not going to be a good thing. It's never a good thing to rush into something that you don't know what you're getting into. So, I mean, if she would have just stopped and maybe talked to him and understood what was going on, then maybe she could have had a better plan.
Can we talk? Can we do that, please?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
talk a little.
We talk, communicate.
And not hit people in the face,
Yeah.
like Mac.
That was great, though. They're like flailing around trying to get the remote, and then Mac just comes up and punches him. And he's like, "You guys look stupid."
That they were
He's just
doing.
like, I thought I looked cool. I thought that looked pretty cool.
I do. As soon as May goes, is everyone magnetized to the airplane? He's like,
Good.
yeah, good. She's like, I was like, come on, dude, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk
Nana.
about this. I want to talk about this little actress who we got in this episode.
You know, I looked her up. She's been in a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's really
I-
good.
and she's a voice actor too.
Oh, okay.
yeah. I've been this actress. I was introduced to her on this stupid ass Nickelodeon sitcom
Mm-hmm.
that honestly I didn't like, but she was actually damn good in that show. Like she took a role that you didn't need to be good in, but she made it like the best fucking role ever. Like it was the role she was born to play. Like she treats and then I like followed her because like I saw this show like channel surfing. I'm like, this show is stupid, but this girl, I don't know what the fuck, but like she's way better than she needs to be. Then I started looking her up, watching her other shit, and like she plays every single role like she was born to play that role.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I mean, I looked her up and I was just like, oh, that's right. Because I was like, she looks really familiar. And then when I saw her, I was like, oh, that's where she's from. Okay, I remember seeing that. Oh, that kind of thing. Good. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I know her from that, know her from that, and I know her from that, and I know.
No, but then here she is. I saw her on the episode. I'm like, oh, it's you. And then I'm like, so you're gonna die. Like that's what I thought. That's where I thought this was going. I'm like, you're gonna die. She doesn't.
I figured she wasn't gonna die just because they spend all that time having Gemma like coach her and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happened with the Thing and May and Bot Rain. You know that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is this gonna be that again?
Yeah. Are we gonna see another child die? No, please.
Can we? No. Can we not?
Enough. Thank you.
No, we don't. But she didn't.
And she didn't even want to kill this guy.
No.
That's what's
Oh,
really
did she?
sad. No, she didn't.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
No, that was like instinct.
Yeah, she was just like, please, no. And her hand went right through him.
And that's not traumatizing at all.
Of
No,
course not.
but the fact, I mean, we got a lot of her backstory, even though she was only on for this one episode.
Yeah.
She'll come back.
Because
I don't know.
you wanna
According to the IMB or something like that, this was her only episode.
Oh.
But
Oh.
yeah,
See,
the- they make this sound like going through Terrigenesis and everything is a it's a gift, and if you do good, your family's fine.
Yeah.
But basically, they just take the Inhumans and make them basically modern-day gladiators.
yeah. And I mean, she was saying that if she's successful, she gets to be an ambassador and her family gets rewarded. That didn't look like no ambassador position, and I'm guessing her family isn't going to be that well rewarded.
No, it
I
looks
don't know.
sold.
They might get a piece. I don't know. They probably telling her, you'll be an ambassador, but you're ambassador. You're basically a gladiator. You're representing.
Well, By an ambassador, they mean like you're representing somebody on the sick ass game show that
Yeah.
that's probably exists somewhere.
And by
Mhm.
reward
yeah-
your family, they just mean your family will not be murdered.
Yep, right. Your family will be able to. Maybe they get a little. Maybe we'll give them a little bit
Here's
of
some
what
food or
what
something.
you earned us or something.
Or maybe
know?
it's really nice and that like, you know, the winnings that you win from this game show goes to your family.
I doubt that,
Gotta keep killing people.
but
I got
yeah,
a real Hunger
good,
Games
it's nice.
vibe
yes.
from that because the Inhuman that like was shepherding her around really felt like the mentor that was preparing her for the games. And it's just like, okay, Katniss, kick ass.
I mean, it was really sweet when they're together and stuff, and
Yeah.
we saw a lot more of the other blue chick. She actually spoke in this.
Yes. Like, one word, right? She just said compassion. Like, the only
Yep.
thing she said.
All she needed to say.
Yeah. She
And,
said it with such disdain, too. I really liked that delivery.
And she seems to have this big old crush on him. And
Yeah.
she's mad. I think she's just pissed off that he keeps bringing
Saying
in
she's
these-
pretty.
bringing in all these other, concubines or whatever they are to him. We don't know.
Servants, handmaidens.
Servants, we don't know. I mean, there's male, female, so, but he's overlooking her kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I noticed they kept emphasizing her against Gemma
Mhm.
this whole entire episode, and kept on showing her with the balls.
Yeah.
She always showed Gemma, and Gemma's just like looking at him like, if I get those, you're dead.
Mhm.
Because I can
Yeah.
see Gemma getting those and just being like,
Gemma's definitely trying to figure out how they work.
uh-huh. And she was figuring out the hearing thing because Lily clicked it off. like it's a clap on,
Yeah.
clap off thing. It looks like they did on the recap, they showed it. It looked like molten metal head crab thing. That one was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah. Ugh. It's like a little silver slug.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like they're giving, I'm hoping they're hints and not just, they're just leading you that way. But all these, like Gemma learned, like looking at their lips and trying to, and their body language and, the way they're doing things. And she's like, just keeping an eye. And no one, all the other ones aren't looking, but she's like, she's keeping tabs on all of them. And she's looking at what goes on, and she's more astute than the rest of them.
Mhm.
And they are so, I think he underestimates her. The girl on that effect, I think she doesn't as much as him. I think she underestimates Gemma, but not as much as he does.
Hmm.
Because he doesn't think that she could do anything.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in this society.
Mhm.
And like this is what I wanted when as soon as I found out what this season was going to be about, learning about this new future and learning about how these new people do things and how certain aliens do their alien things. It's interesting to me, and I want to see more societies, possibly more different alien societies, how they work, and how our characters are going to adapt to it.
I mean, we did see another alien race, look more human, but they had red eyes.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what
Yes.
kind of aliens they were.
My dad thinks they're the White Kree.
Oh,
Oh, that might be.
okay.
That might be why they were a little disdain for them when she was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, she can't make it right now, but she can make it tonight."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are
And
different.
he was like, "Oh," throwing the martinis. What a waste of perfectly good martinis. Exactly what it was, a waste. Waste of martinis.
There are different Kree. So we have the blue ones.
Mhm. That's
Those are
the
the ones
one
that
we're
people are
familiar
most.
with.
Yeah. There are white Kree. There are pink Kree. We saw those in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. And so I'm hoping that we get to see more alien races, and maybe this will give us a connection to Guardians, or maybe Thor, or maybe it'll lead into Captain Marvel, maybe possibly in some way, shape, or form, because
Yeah.
again, fucking multiverse, we can do shit.
Hmm.
but I hope we don't spend a lot of time just stuck on the ship. I want us to like go to different places, and I want to see, civilization, because to be honest, there was a point in the episode where Coulson is talking to May. They're looking outside the windshield, and he's like, it's a great view, and I'm like, what the fuck? What view are you looking at?
All right.
The stars. He's looking
All
at the stars.
Yeah, but there's shit everywhere.
I have a feeling they're going to go down to the surface.
Yeah,
And I'm
for sure.
I'm waiting for it. I can't wait. I was like, oh yes, guys, oh, yes, let's do this. Let's go down,
Yeah.
please. But yeah, I'm waiting, and I haven't been waiting. Been anticipating the next episode in this series in a long time.
Not to say that,
Not to say it's been bad, but there have been sometimes you're just like, why am I still watching this?
because of this season. We've pushed
This, I think
so
that
far.
taking them out of their time and putting them in this time,
Yeah.
you kind of make it kind of like a fish out of water kind of thing, makes it really interesting and stirs things up. And it's what it needed. It needed that, because I think for a long time maybe they were waiting to be able to be joined with the rest of the MCU kind of thing, and a bigger tangent bridge, but that just never happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so by them doing this, it's kind of making going, okay, fine. You don't want to have really anything to do with us. You want to pretend like we don't even exist. Well, fuck it.
We'll go to a different plane of existence.
Yeah, right. We'll just go to a different universe. I'll flip you guys the bird while I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
You guys are all dead.
Whether or not that's really what happened, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
They
just
have
feels like they're
freedom.
just like, we're going to do it. We're going to do this our way.
Well, it's just like similar to Thor or Guardians. They have the freedom to do like whatever the fuck they want, because they're so, they are connected to the MCU, but they're on the other side of it, if you will. So what they do doesn't directly impact the MCU. So I think it's smart to do it this way. You could do more creative things, because like we have been grounded for so long, even with the framework. It was like kind of a different universe, but like it was like it was framework.
And I think they drugged the framework a little too long. They drugged it on almost a little too much.
I think this season 4 I honestly think was one of the better seasons, but I do think it was a little disjointed, and I think this season what it's doing is doing what last season was trying to do, but it's doing it better.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, last season it's like they were trying to do something different, but just couldn't quite get it. I mean, they'd spend a lot of money on the CGI for Ghost Rider, but
I really wish Ghost
And then
Rider
they
could have
did-
played a bigger part.
yeah, it was really good and everything. And
But now we got Xenomorphs.
I
But
need him
it's
and
like they
Punisher
tried-
to team up.
Yeah. it's like they tried to
Right.
do it, but they ran out of money, so they ended up with this really bad Soviet bad guy who you just
Who?
can't
He
stand.
was not interesting at all. But I mean,
He was good to look at, but that was about it.
he wasn't even
Really?
that hot.
I don't think so.
No. I mean, he
Pizza
did
on
get superseded by Ada, sort of, in a way, but and Fitz. But
I know it's like they were trying last year. They were really trying to break.
So you guys get a gold star.
I think a gold star for
A+.
trying.
And I mean, it wasn't the worst thing. Like,
No.
it was disjointed, but it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It was just there wasn't enough, things to smooth it out. It was very rough.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of sharp edges and like, oh, we're going here now. I'm going to push you off the cliff, kind of thing. You're going into this now.
I think.
But this one seems a little more polished, and I hope they don't fuck it up.
And
No,
it
please
does
don't.
feel more polished.
Please don't fuck it up.
And I mean, it might also just be coming off of Inhumans. This is just great to have a good fucking show again.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, but I keep thinking that. I'm like, oh god, it's great to have this after we had to suffer through Inhumans.
Well, 'cause
Right?
I think we were missing it for so long, and I think we were kind of hoping that Inhumans would fill the void.
Just
But it
made us all
didn't.
mad.
It just made us mad.
Like,
We're almost getting to know these characters all over again,
Yeah.
which is kind of nice because they're putting it. We're again to remember. Oh yes, Daisy can fight really well. We didn't-
Even without her powers, yeah.
Yeah,
and
she can
Yo-Yo does not give a shit about you and will do whatever.
Yeah, and and Coulson is the mind. He thinks of these things, and him and May,
He put together the puzzle in the book, yeah.
And Mac is a
And-
dork, and
but I mean, you forget about all these little things about them when
I'd
you're just
rather-
watching it, and now it's like now they're put in a different place. Now you're like kind of discovering them all over again.
I'd rather not go to where no one can hear me scream, but
You're right.
It's like movie references that y'all need to go over to Mac's house and just have a movie night. I don't care.
great.
If you like take a break in the story, just have a one-off episode. Y'all go
Just have
get
a
some
movie
popcorn, have a little
marathon.
slumber party. Great. And just have the characters just make snarky comments at the inconsistencies in the movie. Like I just want to see them watch Alien, and
Yes.
just yell at Stevie like, "Why the fuck, bitch, are you going back for the couch?"
Right. Do I go because it's a kitty?
Yeah.
Meow meow.
Yeah.
And
Still love it.
I just didn't realize, I knew, but I didn't realize how soon after the framework this was. Because May was like, I just got over being a Nazi. Like,
We were.
Can I get a day?
We were having. We
I
were
was in the
eating-
framework, strapped to a board, pretending to be Hydra.
I
wanted to
don't
sleep
even
in my
get a
bed
day.
for one night.
I haven't even gone to the toilet yet. Okay,
Right.
like, I just wanted my pie. I didn't even get the pie.
I didn't
okay?
even get my
Like,
pie, right?
I don't think our food even came. We just ordered, and we just sat down. Like our water didn't get there.
Her thing, I love the fact that it wasn't that she was like, I need to sit down, I need to relax, I need vacation. I just want to sleep in my bed.
Yeah, no, none of that. She's like, I want to sleep in my bed. My bed. Not Nazi me's bed, my bed.
My bed, not these little craps that they give us here. I want my bed.
My bed. Yeah.
And you know what? You really can understand because sometimes when you're like away, you're just like, I just want to go home and sleep in my bed.
Because I think because your bed feels safe, and like May has been been through some shit. And
Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
I think I forget that these people actually have houses.
Yeah, they have a place that they live.
But we never see them because they're always there.
Yeah.
And like Fitz and Gemma, they got an apartment, and their damn turtle is probably starving.
No, don't say that. That makes me sad. If they're time traveling, they're gonna get back before it starves. Everything's gonna be fine.
No, Fitz is still there.
Oh, you're right. Vince is still there. I'm dumb.
Poor Fitz has to raise the turtle by himself. He's a single parent.
Single turtle parent.
Oh, but Fitz must be like. We need to get the episode where we go back to
Are we going to?
Earth. I don't know, but
I
we
want
should.
to.
I
I
am.
want to.
What is he doing?
I am
like,
fully.
He's freaking out.
I
Probably.
am fully expecting us to not get anything from Fitz in the past, and to just in the middle of some weird, crazy fight scene, have a portal open. Fitz steps through and shoots somebody with a laser cannon. Like,
No, not
Nah.
a cannon, just a shotgun. Just go shotgun. And just shooting everybody. Like, what?
No, I would love to. You know how like we went back, we saw from the people that took them point of view. Him getting ready, not necessarily that long,
yeah.
but I would like to know after they left him and turned everything back on, and he wakes up and everyone's gone. I want to see
He's
that
in the
I wanna
diner
see him
alone. Yeah.
alone, and he's like, and there's like everyone's pie is sitting on the counter.
The
and he's
fuck?
like, what? What? Did everyone just go to the bathroom? All of a sudden, what's going on?
Yeah.
I want to see that. I actually do want to see that. I want to see him try to figure it out, try to freak out, and probably go straight to S.H.I.E.L.D. or to some government going, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool. I mean, if not like maybe not a whole episode, but a partial, maybe just something, I would like to see that. Maybe that's just me.
No, I agree. I think it might be nice to see, but I think if they're gonna bring Fitz into this part of the timeline, they're going to have to bring him in first and then do a flashback. So I think if they flashback first, they're burying the lead then. I would like to be surprised by Fitz and then see what happened.
Well, either way, I want to see them. What
Yes.
happens in the back?
Your face
Like-
is Fitz.
Oh.
Thank you, Dom.
Faces Fits.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what that means.
Stirring
like,
commentary as usual.
well, I'm just so
It's like, as much as we like this season, we bitch about everything. So,
well,
you
yeah,
know.
we do bitch about everything because like fucking Fitz, where are you? Because you're on the damn
We're
poster.
just discussing. There's no bitching going on yet.
Most of our bitching is the MCU movies not acting like this show doesn't exist,
Or when we're talking about Inhumans.
Vice versa.
or vice
Works
versa.
both ways.
It does, but you know that's what we mostly bitch about.
But it's okay because the show's so good.
Yeah, so the season is really good. So.
But sometimes
So
the show
far.
does things that makes me very upset. So like I'm just waiting for Fitz, and like that's really all we're missing. And I think it's kind of sad that I forgot that he existed,
Oh no.
and then
I'm
I
hoping.
got mad at myself.
I'm hoping once they find out where this transmission is coming from, that maybe possibly it was a colony that Fitz put together.
And so like
I would love
Fitz,
that.
they got a note that says I'm working on it. Fitz,
Yeah,
like,
They did
what
get
are you
that
working
note.
on? How are you working on it? And when were you working on it? Is it done? I don't know.
Are you still
Yep.
alive? Are you the new Nick Fury?
Oh.
Okay. Here's the
He's
thing.
in a cryo.
Here's
He's-
the thing, and I don't know if they made a reference to this yet, but this whole thing being in space, all of this stuff, S.H.I.E.L.D. being in space, I'm just like, when am I gonna get my Nick Fury Man on the Wall reference? Like, I don't know. I'm just expecting it because
Expect everything in
Yeah.
this season. That's what
not
it feels like
necessarily
so far.
Nick Fury. Like, it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be Nick.
I feel
But
like
I
this
was joking
season-
with my dad. I was like, it's going to be on that rock. It's going to be 150-year-old Nick Fury, Man on the Wall.
Well, that would be kind of a throwback to oh, not really a throwback, but something like that kind of happened in Doctor Who when he went back to the dinosaur. Looked up at this big cliff and it said, "Hello,
Oh,
sweetie."
Yeah. Hmm.
So but I in this season I'm going to be expect the unexpected because I feel that this is a whole new chapter for them, and I feel that they're going to hopefully they do really, really well at it and not screw anything up. But I feel they have a lot of play.
Yeah.
They can do a lot of things that they couldn't really do on Earth, as you say, on the ground. They're in space.
We're in space.
Anything's possible right now. Space and in the future, so they can make up anything.
Yeah, you're right.
And I hope they do.
We got the scene that was in the last episode of last season where Coulson wakes up, looks out the window, and he's like, all right, enough sightseeing, now get back to work.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see that finally.
Yes.
Context.
Bookends. Wrapped
Yeah.
back around.
So next episode 4. these synopses, whatever the plural is for synopses, these are great, aren't they? Aren't these great?
Oh, they're always fantastic.
Okay.
You know.
So, as this episode was called A Life Spent, the next episode is called A Life Earned. Coulson and the team discover their captor's true intentions.
Beautiful.
Golf clap. Slow clap.
Yes.
GG agents.
Okay,
Stirring as usual.
so that's going to be interesting. That wonderful little briefing. So, anybody have anything else to say? Anything we missed?
But I think we went through
Yeah.
everything.
Yay. So,
Pretty
next
much.
episode, looking forward to it. Coulson and the team discover their captor's true intentions. Okay, so it turns out this was all a game show, and
Yo.
it's a game show. It's like the Truman Show, where people make decisions for these people, and like that's what happens. And we're gonna find the cameras. The camera's gonna be like in the pencil sharpener. It's gonna be awesome.
Pencil sharpener. I don't think there is a single pencil on the lighthouse. I don't know if we mentioned that this space station is called the lighthouse.
What I find interesting already is that they haven't shown the full, like, a backup view of it all. I always call him the blue guy now. So the Kree.
Well,
he did mention.
Do we know his name? We do.
Yeah,
know
we
his
do.
name. What is it? I can't remember for the
Ty.
life of me. Ty.
Ty.
Okay, that's easy to remember.
But he did mention limestone, that he made this whole thing was out of limestone. So that kind of gives you an idea of what part of the earth that came from. Because limestone is
but
a
who
fine
knows
mineral.
where that part of the earth is currently floating around in space.
It's the blue part. It blew this way and blew that way.
Okay.
Yuck.
So with that, so that has been our show. Rachel, where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and right here on Twitch at VikingWitch.
Cleo, where can people find you?
You can find me on Cleomoto on Twitter, probably rereading Man on the Wall, which is all about Bucky.
And you can find me and all of my giggles and gore and monsters of mayhem on YouTube at Jacob Salazar. You can find me on Twitter at tweeting me throughout the life at Tomorrowland. That's TONOWATRELAND. Join the Tomorrowland Society. This has been the Outstanding Movie Podcast from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and you can find us here on Twitch, which you are watching right now, or you can find us later on the YouTube. We don't do live shows on YouTube anymore. We don't really get along with YouTube in these political times right now. But you can find us everywhere else on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, Google Plus. We also have a Discord. I keep forgetting that we have that. That thing exists.
I know. I keep forgetting to post memes. Now that the Infinity Wars trailer is out, I gotta start posting more memes.
We start doing that. So we have that. Follow us in all those places. And am I forgetting something? I always feel like I am, but
probably. All of our links are in the doobly-doo, so to steal
the doobly,
that's a
term
new
from
the
word.
Vlogbrothers.
In the doobly-doo, or follow all of them down below in my pants, because that's where I'm pointing at. That's what it is. Okay, good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
The doobly-doos.
I'm gonna start using.
They're gonna start using that word.
Well, I did steal it, so you're.
All the doobly-doos.